going on, people? It's Mr. back again with the review show. I hope everyone's fit and well. We're talking about yesterday's game, goal game, as we say. Preston 0, Forest 0. I've got the panel in today. We'll get them through in a minute. But before we do start, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment below. How do you feel about yesterday's result? If you want to be a member as well, there's a link as well. That's the 3 symbols to be a member. It's $2.99. Like Des is, like Kieran is. Kieran's down here somewhere. I don't know where Kieran is. Somewhere down there.
Below Des.
Below Des. So if you want to be a member as well, and if you want to ask a question, and if you want to donate towards the channel as well, please do. It supports the channel. Right, let's get to the panel. We've got the usual man. I keep banging on about his name. I'm sick and tired of it now. He's always on the channel. We've got the man, Mr. Des Daily Oldham. How you doing, Des?
I'm good, Dor. Thanks for the nice, pleasant introduction.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of it. I keep sick of seeing Mr. Dudeli play. I'm sick of it, but the reason is because all I get now is, where's Des? Where's Dudeli? Listen to me. This is not his channel. He's got his own channel.
Do you know what they sing? Do you know what they sing at away games now, guys? You're not famous anymore. Sing it to Dor.
So, people, this is not his channel. His link is below. If you want to subscribe, go and subscribe, because he's free away to 250. So, people, this is my channel. Des. Below me, we've got Liam. Liam's been here as well. How you doing, Liam?
I'm not too bad, mate. And I've been more happy with 3 points, but Saturday
like
we'll get them.
We'll get there. And last but not least, we've got Kids Rest Talks. His name is Kieran. How you doing, Kieran?
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't lose, but we move.
Exactly. But like I said, people, like I said, the vlog was out as well. If you want to see the vlog after this, you can. Link is below, so please go and watch it. Right, let's talk about the game. Where shall we start? I'll go with Des. Des, let's talk about today's game. It was dull, depressing, but we didn't lose. That's the most important thing. We didn't lose. So talk to us, Des.
Absolutely, we didn't lose, and what we've got to expect now is you know, the odd performance where we don't quite pull it off. We started quite brightly, didn't we? We looked okay. There was of course the massive penalty shout, which I couldn't believe wasn't given as a foul. Not actually sure it was in the area, but we looked like we was on the front foot. Davis was getting a bit of something out of their defence. We were knocking it around well early on, and then it kind of turned on that penalty, didn't it? On that non-penalty, it almost turned around.
We'll talk about the penalty later. Go on,
Preston came into the game. They played some tidy football, and what we have to remember, since their new manager's gone in, despite the fact they got beat sort of a bit bizarrely at the weekend to Reading, which we know happens in the Championship. They've had a really good home record, in particular since Ryan Lowe's been there, and they play some good stuff. And I thought they did play some good stuff. As bad as it was a watch for Forest in that second half, I thought they knocked it around. For me, they took off their best player in Ched Evans. You know, he was dropping deep, holding the ball up, dropping deep, slipping people in, and they had 2 glorious opportunities, and we could have come away from that game with absolutely nothing. But again, I think it just shows how far we've come on, the leaps and bounds we've come on since Cooper's come. That we come out of a game where we've been dominated in the main, 75% of it at least, and we've got a point, and we've got something to show from it. And you replied to the tweet though last night. I put out, we're going to get these games. We're going to get a tough one. If we can still take that positive, and the fact, the biggest positive of all, wasn't it, was probably the goalkeeper. And I'm sure,
that's another goalkeeper we can talk about as well.
But he was solid. He did his job, and he kept a clean sheet. And he'll go off that pitch thinking, you know, he's done his job to some degree, and that's what you're kind of looking for. I don't think it's too much to worry about. I keep saying when we have a bad performance or a bad result, people keep saying they trust Cooper. Well, come on, let's see it. If you trust him, now's the time to say, right, that was a bad one. We don't want too many of those and just to write games off, because it's getting to the business end of the season. But that was a bad one. We've got a point out of it. We go again. Look at when we got beat by Fulham. We had about 5 draws in 6 games, and it gave us such a foundation. Those clean sheets or scoring late or whichever way we got a point out of the game, gave us such a foundation, and then to go on a winning run. At least he wasn't losing confidence. A point away from home, if it does anything, it just maintains the confidence level. I'm sure when they get to play Bristol City at home, they'll be back on the front foot and looking to win the game.
Before I get Liam, I've got a few comments I want to read out. Rob, great to meet you. Poor game last night, but we're playing against a tough team. I will start Sturridge on Saturday. Fozzie, shout out to Fozzie as well. Good guy, came up to me, and as well, I think that's the same guy that said, "Oh, we're do daily with." So, but I don't care about do daily. Subscribe to him now. but yeah, shout out. Thank you for coming up, Rob. And he's on my vlog as well, so make sure you do watch the vlog. Let's one quite away from home at below 4 points. We kept a clean sheet. We took a point, and that's a decent result. We need to get down about it, exactly. So there's no need to get down about it. Like, it's a point away from home, against a tough side. And as well, I said in my vlog, I've been to Preston now. This is my 4th time. And I still can't win a bloody game there. It's unbelievable. Like I said in my vlog, I go to there all the time. I just don't win at all.
It's always a draw up there. It's always a draw.
It's always a draw. Liam, what was your opinion on the game yesterday?
Well, I think, like you say, the first 10 minutes was dominant, to be fair. But what I don't understand is why is Cooper not... We've got 2 subs. Why has he not used them? I know we didn't want to lose, but why not go for the win? Like, you had Lolly back on the bench, Myton, Zinarkle. Obviously we brought Surridge on, but he did nothing, like literally nothing, all like since he come on. I thought it was shocking yesterday. And when Spence cut in, I think it was like 10 minutes to go, maybe less, and he drilled the ball across the box, like grabbing it against Arsenal, it was this, like back post tapped it in, and Surridge was nowhere near there. Like,
Liam, do you think we missed grabbing yesterday?
Oh, 100%, yeah. The grabbing's always there in the right place as a goal scorer at the end of the day. Like, I know people say don't write Surridge off of his record, but you need to be in the right place at the right time. And I think it was just not up in the right places. Like, he didn't have the pace to get there.
Kevin, what do you think about the performance yesterday?
Yeah, first, like both you've said, Liam and Des, first 10 minutes we were dominant, and then they managed to get a foot in the game. I thought Ben Whiteman for Preston was excellent. He won everything at midfield. They farted more in that midfield, and I thought, yeah, we do miss grabbing, like Liam said. Surridge needs to gamble in the box a little bit more. I think he's more of a workhorse, and yeah, we do miss grabbing really, but yeah, it was really poor yesterday.
And I'll talk about the penalty. And when I was at the game, and it looked like a clear penalty to me. But when you're looking back on TV, I'll be honest with you, and people can disagree with me as well in the comments as well. It definitely wasn't a penalty. Yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. But Des, what do you think? Do you think that was a penalty? I didn't think it was.
I thought it was. I still think it was. I think it's a foul. I think he's caught him. And the thing is with the TV sometimes you can slow it down. The only reason I say foul is because I didn't know whether it was outside the box or just outside the box. But you can slow it down on TV, and all of a sudden you miss the kind of the quick motion that sometimes clips somebody, and it looks like a dive. It almost, when you slow it down, it's not in favour of the striker because it looks like they're going down in stages. Whereas I think he clips him. I really do. I think he gets his foot. It's not a massive clip, but the way David kind of bulldozes his way about, it's not going to take much sometimes. And when he's moving at pace, it's not going to take much to knock him over. There's definitely something in that. For me, that's a penalty every day of the week. And I tweeted as well last night, we've got another one here, haven't we? The referee was shocked. Not just on that decision. Do you know, for both sides, I'm not just moaning from a Forest point of view.
Des, you always moan. You always moan, Des. Des always moans.
The standard of refereeing is absolutely atrocious throughout football. You know, back in the day when they had no cameras, we had better referees, and now it's absolutely ridiculous. But no, I thought it was a penalty. I'm not. Again, it's not one of those where some games you take it with you and you can't let it go. You know, I kind of let this one go because I can't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a penalty. And the fact we didn't play well, and we took something out of the game. Again, I see that as a bit of a positive.
Where I sat yesterday, sorry, Door, carry on.
Sorry, no, carry on.
Where I sat yesterday, I was literally level with the penalty box, and I was only 3 seats like up in the stand, and it was clear as day.
Oh, so you was near me then, Leon. You must be near me.
Possibly, yeah. Like I only brought my tickets the day before, so I got chucked right. But yeah, I was level with the line, and what I've seen is as David, I think he like megged him. Then as he goes to plant his foot, their defender's foot was like planted on top, and then that's why he fell over. So it is a foul at the end of the day, and it was on the line of the penalty box, which if it's on the line, it's a penalty. So it is a penalty and not a free kick.
I don't know. I kept watching it when I coming back from the game today. I kept watching it, and then I thought it was I think it was a foul. I just don't think it was a penalty because when he clipped him, it was literally just outside the box. But I don't know. What do you think, Kerry? Do you think it was a penalty?
I saw a photo and it didn't look like a penalty to me, but it's very hard to call. But I think the referees really need to be sorted. But from my point of view, I don't think it was a penalty. I'm with you, Dor.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to look through the comments. So from Grant, I didn't Grant. Spot on. There's a lot of to the tower after a bad result. Shout out to Patrick. Should have been a pen, but a ball access to the goal, and there's no one there. 1-2 red. It wasn't a best performance, but I'll take one before the game. Could have been more critical in May. It could have been. One for Adam. I got to agree with Liam on grabbing goal post shot, and he would have got on the end of that one Spence cross. 100%. Like I think these kind of games, like I said, I said in my vlog that we should have brought someone, and with Stones coming on, I would have brought on Zigano because Lolle, he's not match fit, and as well as Mike, they're not match fit. But do you think one of them players could have come on? Comment below. What do you think? Right. I'm going to talk about the goalkeeper because I was at the game yesterday, and as well as Liam, and I'll get Liam's opinion as well about it. Even Howarth, he's coming to the game like Sam was out for 3 games, and what behind me, a few Forest fans were just giving him, was just absolutely destroying him, and it was absolutely frustrating me yesterday about he can't this, he can't do that. What do you want the guy to do? If you consider, yeah, it was just, I think some Forest fans, it frustrated me. But Leon, before I get to Des and Kieran, was he that bad? I know from a point of view, right, his kicking wasn't great, but he did concede. And what do you think, Liam?
Yeah, like you say, it was just his distribution. Like that was the only bad thing. Like his handling, he maybe didn't command the box as well as Samba does, like coming out for corners because he was rooted a lot of the time, and we did have to rely on the centre backs to clear it. But apart from that, like he made some good saves. Like that, there's a couple that's gone straight through the middle of our defence and was basically one-on-one with the keeper. His positioning was really good. Like he's parried one round the corner and he's got himself in a great position in front of, I think it was Archer, and he just put it wide of the post. But that was all down to his positioning, coming out there quick, closing the angles down. But like, I think it's a sound goalkeeper. Like he is a good championship goalkeeper. We just haven't played him, so nobody can really judge him, I don't think.
Do you think like Forest fans have been harsh? Because like I said, it's come to like these next 2 games. He's playing against Bristol City. He's playing against Sheffield United as well. And like I said, the Forest fans today, there's someone behind me who's giving him abuse to him every single time. I was myself, I wanted to say something, but you know what? I don't want to argue with any of them. But I'm going to talk to Des. And like these next 2 games, Des, like we've got Bristol City and got Sheffield United, and to be fair, he kept a clean sheet. That's going to give him confidence, surely.
Absolutely, and I heard that today. Do you know, I spoke to someone who went to the game, and I said, "Oh, the goalkeeper did well," and he kind of like shrugged his shoulders, and when he made those comments, he didn't command the box enough. Well, and also a comment about distribution, and I almost think it's that thing. If you're looking for someone to fail, you will find a reason when they fail. Do you know what you got to remember with Horvath? He had to do everything with the lowest risk possible yesterday. Do you know when Samba's running out and he's bowling the ball out, or he kicks it out of play, because he does kick it out of play, for as good as his distribution is sometimes, he gets away with it because he's not got the pressure of what Horvath had yesterday. So coming off the back of the game he played before, where he made an absolute howler and he's given everybody this opinion of him, he's got to do everything spot on, and he's got to get it. And I thought what he had to do, I thought he commanded the box quite well. There was that one when he come out and punched it and it went miles, and he cleaned the player out as well. That was towards
that was mad.
The one-on-ones, which they should have scored, but he was in the right place to make the right save, and you can't complain at that. Like I say, I think it's almost, people have got long memories when it comes to mistakes from footballers, haven't they? And they're almost looking for him to fail. You can pick fault in anybody's game if you watch it long enough. You can pick fault in Ryan Yates, Keenan Davis, but the reality is, if you want them to do well and you want to see the positives, the guy had a really good game, and it's given me confidence for the next 2 games. I was really worried, not because I wanted Horvath to fail, but when Samba got sent off, I thought that could change the whole season. That could almost be a defeat at Preston, a draw against Bristol, and a defeat against Sheffield United, and it's almost playoffs over. But I don't feel like that now. I feel like the guy's got enough ability to sort of hold his own in there. It did feel at times that they might have been protecting him, just a little bit, playing a bit deeper maybe. But I don't know. You play to what you've got on the pitch and what players you've got around you. And he definitely didn't feel like a weak link by the end of the game. And I think that was the most important thing. And I feel if Forest played well, and even yesterday, we could have nicked that game last minute. Yeah. And then who's talking about the goalkeeper and who's talking about a bad performance? But he did all right. I think he really did. And like I say, it's given me the confidence to think if we play well enough to win a football game, it doesn't really matter what Horvath does it?
Exactly.
I'm sure it was Forest's best player yesterday.
Say again, Liam.
I thought it was Forest's best player yesterday.
It was, let's say.
Yeah, I agree.
None of them got above 5. Maybe Davis, because he's just a powerhouse. But apart from that, I don't think anybody else stood up.
Exactly. You know what? I'm going to look at the comments before I get to you, Kieran. Like I said, we're talking about the goalkeeper power-off, which was great substitution throughout. He committed his box really well, and super punches from Di Champo. Good keeper with great prospect. He played well for the Wolves game 4-0, where he had a bad game. In the defence, form wasn't meant to do. One from Adam Astor. How you doing, Adam? I thought, how was the game considered? He hasn't played since last year at home against Middlesbrough, and he did well to put Archer scoring the goal as well. He did. He put off Archer, because Archer, he was one of the guys. He's like a snake. He just come out of nowhere, and I thought he was Preston's best player. I know Chad Evans as well. He was a little bit of a threat, but it is what it is. His first game for ages and 5 times he needs to grow some brains. It is. The problem is, it's true. And I was so angry, and I think it was me and Lee Tilson was getting mad. And me, I'm not that kind of person to. If people's got opinion, you can have an opinion, that's fine. But when you consistently being negative towards a goalkeeper, his first game since August, Forest fans are fickle these days. But people comments, what do you think? Kieran, what are you laughing at, Des? It's true, Des. You know it's true, Des. Forest fans are fickle, and I'm just.
Can I just ask, was this guy talking the whole game?
No,
if it's the same person, he spoke the whole game.
Liam, there's 3 people behind me and my friend Liam, my friend Lee Tilson, constantly. Second half, especially the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this?
Were they adults? Were they like kids or something?
Grown-ass adults. I'm like, me, I'm saying
that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
I'm gonna say something soon, because I've had enough. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I like leave Ben, don't say nothing. I was like I said, people can have their opinions. It's all right to have an opinion, but when you got a keeper, he didn't concede, and it's still moan. And it is what it is. Kieran, like I said, we wasn't great. Like the first 15 minutes, we was fine. Like, but the rest of the game, we as well as the midfield, we lost that midfield battle. Do you think, Kieran?
Yeah, I think Yates never really got going. Like I said at the start of the show, I thought Ben White was excellent in that midfield. He bossed it and he taught us a lesson. Forest midfield never got going, never really got a foot on the game, never really got free passes going. It's just one of them games where we could change it up a little bit, like get Jada in, change it up. I just think the lack of subs on Cooper was very poor for me last night. But I still trust him. I just think it's one of them games where he could have really brought someone on just to change it and hopefully go for the win. But we'll still take a point. But it's just one of them things, really, isn't it? I thought Preston were by far the better side.
I'm going to say something, right? Like, I know, I personally understand why Cooper didn't bring no one on, because Preston are a strong side, and especially that midfield. I'm talking to Ted about this because, like I said, he brought on Sturridge, and that's what he brought on. If we brought someone like, I don't know, I think we had Cafu, who's more defensive minded than anyone else. But Dad's like, do you think as well? People in the comments as well. Do you think it was right for Cooper just to bring one sub in, or do you think he should have brought a sub on? Because in the previous games, we say against Bristol City, against Millwall, as well against QPR, we scored goals late. But what was your opinion on? Do you think he should have brought on a more attacking player to make us push?
It's become a given now, and I. Before we go any further, I'll go back to the point about Grabban. I do think at times we slightly miss Grabban, because putting Sturridge on to win a game is probably not the thing right now. But he's always going to come on, because he said Davis is still building his fitness. He played a bit longer last night than normal. I noticed that. I think he played to about 70 minutes. He's been playing to 60. And I spoke about the likes of Cafu in the past, players who can come on when we're doing well, and Sturridge kind of fits into that category. Where we might be missing Grabban to some degree, whilst Davis has been playing really well, and we feel like we've not missed him because we've been scoring goals, is just that game changer at times, just to stick those chances away. Everyone's talking about that one pulled back across the box. And you'd think that Grabban would stick that one away. So we might just be missing him. But in terms of the changes, I offer a bit of a... I would have made a change. I would have brought Zinchenko on. I thought the game was crying out for just that little bit, something different, somebody to sort of turn them a little bit. But just to play devil's advocate, if you think in the last game, he made all those substitutions and we ended up without a replacement goalkeeper, but we also ended up going behind. And yes, we pulled it out of the bag through Ryan Yates' header, but I wonder if that was just sticking in his mind. He'd made the subs, he went chasing the game, which we all wanted him to do. That's the whole point of being up there. And we could have quite easily lost that game purely because of Samba's moment of madness. But once that had happened, the reserves weren't there. That in reality, yes, we didn't have a goalkeeper to put on, but we also made subs to almost protect, game manage, I guess, if you know what I mean. Not subs to go and chase a game should we be 2-1 down, even with 10 men and a goalkeeper. I know that sounds bizarre, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So I wonder if that stuck in his mind yesterday. If he goes looking for a game, and I just kind of come back to the performance. I don't think we was a million miles away. Yes, I saw someone mention Spence. The ball bounced off his shins at every opportunity. Normally when he's weaving his way up the pitch, and the first time it came off, we could have won the football match. I think you'd have seen 2 substitutions between then and full time if that had happened. But I just get the feeling that the last game might have been lingering in his mind, and the fact the goalkeeper's still there, and that might just have a bit of an impact for a few weeks, till Samba's probably back in the team, till he's playing well again, or they've got trust fully back in him after what he's done. You might see that he doesn't use the subs necessarily too early, and I think that might have been the key factor in all of this. But going back to your initial question, I'd have put Zinchenko on. I thought it was kind of crying out for him, but for as much possession Preston was having, it would have been hard as well to take either Colback or Yates off.
That's probably, and I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I kept asking why we're not bringing the midfielder in. But I think the way Preston were playing, they were bullying that midfield, and I think if you took off Colback or Yates, they would. I think it would have been a problem because you remember they lost on Saturday to a poor Reading side, and if we can like that, bring on a more second people, they've got more possession than us. I get it. What's the point? So I understand it. Right. I'm looking at the comments. Shout out to Med. How you doing, Med? How I played well and got probably our best player. Midfield was too flat for me. Then again, most of the teams were flat last night, but it's a great point for us off the reg. And here's Lee with Lee's comment. And as I said, Dore, I was with you when I was like 3 blokes in 5th place slated half all game. After today, we were bored last 4 or 5 months winning games. Good form. Ryan Late's played at Road King. They need a scapegoat. Sad, really. It's true. It's true. And it's just embarrassing. Like, I understand no disrespect to Des. No, it's like the older generation just want to find someone to go for. So I have to go for because Des is a bit older than me, and I know he's not older than Liam.
Positivity.
I'm just saying. So Des, I didn't mean to throw you on the bus there.
Hold on, that looking door.
Right, but the one how you doing? Grant's prize Cooper didn't make a change at the top. Maybe felt he could change the cost as much, but usually he's left it when we are struggling. Maybe shout out to Grant for that. Number one, needed extra million money in my opinion. I haven't seen that. However, Goalkeeper, good credit people down in Derby. Yes, as we know, Derby lost. And as I say, if Lisa Hubb was in this game, like where was you? You've been shouting all month about where's your fans? You need your help. I saw more seats than fans at Pride Park. My final chance in 90 minutes was Spence took a 2-minute players on, cut it back. No one end of it. That's where the goal was missing, and that's why we're missing grabbing. And remember, as Des knows, that Millwall game, he's one of the guys that can come out of nowhere. And we can mention the Arsenal game as well. He come off the bench and he always surprises that he does.
You see Martinelli say he was the hardest player he's played against this season.
Yeah,
exactly.
so
Exactly, and this is why I think Arsenal are wanting because he's a class player. It's sad that if boys do go up, we could get him. If he's at 100 million. There's one from Ben. Nothing against Davis, but I reckon he started storage Saturday. Give him a chance. I don't know about that one. Liam, I said with Davis, like I said, he's a powerhouse, but. What I was about to say that would you start Sturridge against Bristol City or would you leave Davis in?
Well, I think he's lacking that sharpness, and that's why he wasn't in the right place at the right time yesterday. Obviously, he keeps coming off the bench, getting the 10, 15 minutes. That's not going to be doing him any good. I would start him just to give him 60 minutes run out instead of a 10-minute run out because it's not as big as Davis. But he does exactly the same thing. He's good at holding the ball up. He wins most of the headers. He's just not as bulky and as strong as running forward as Davis is. But I would give Davis a rest now. He's played, 5 games in a row?
Yeah. What about you, Karen? Do you think he should give him a start or just leave Davis on? Because like I said, I keep mentioning this, like, with Brendan Johnson has been fantastic for us so far. But he gets the best out of Johnson because everyone focuses on Davis with his strength. But, Karen, what do you think? Do you think we should stick with Davis or play Sturridge?
I think he'll definitely stick with Davis. I think he's still, like you've said, he's going to build his fitness up. He's still getting tired towards the 60th minute. I thought last night, he left Davis on a little bit too long. I thought for the last 15 minutes before he got took off, he never really, I don't think he actually had a touch of the ball. But yeah, I like to see Sturridge giving it a go. Why not? Change it up.
People in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Davis should come off? Be rested for the game against Bristol City. Bristol City is a tough game, but that's something we'll talk about later. Des, I mentioned I don't think Liam will agree. This was great in the first 15 minutes, but then I personally thought the midfield battle, we lost it. and I think like with Ryan Yates, they've been fantastic so far since Cooper's come in. But that midfield battle, it was lost yesterday, wasn't it?
I think so, and it's surprising because it's one of the real strengths we've had, since Cooper's come in. We've really got them working together. I think Kieran's right. Whiteman had a good game. I couldn't stand him watching him.
I like him. No, Dad, I like Whiteman. I'm not going to lie. I like Whiteman.
We've been linked with him in the past as well.
His ability was okay, and his job, he was just moaning and moaning and moaning at the referee. And obviously, I watched it on the television, and you could see, like, him just complaining all the time. And when you've got a crap referee who's going to give a free kick for anything anyway, that's the last thing you need. But I think, like I mentioned it right at the start, and for whatever he is, Ched Evans is a good footballer. And he kind of played a role what I wasn't expecting. He played a little bit deeper, and he was slotting balls through. And I think he found a little pocket which wasn't comfortable for Steve Cook to come out of. The other two play not quite wide, but wider as the three centre-backs. And I think he found a pocket between the midfield and Steve Cook, and he was allowed to dictate the game quite a lot from that position. And it meant sort of, I don't know if you recall, there was one, and I screamed for a free kick on Jack Colback, but Jack Colback had got the wrong side of him, and Ched Evans curled one over the crossbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
remember
he found loads of positions like that. And so he looked dangerous in the fact that, is he going to get a shot away at any point and we know he can finish? Or is he going to slip someone through like the real chances they had? And I thought it was really important. But yeah, I think the midfield, we kind of lost it because of that. I think there was a bit of confusion amongst the holding midfielders and amongst Cook, who was going to pick up Ched Evans. And that gave Whiteman quite a lot of time to do what he does. And he puts it about. Don't get me wrong. I think we was linked with him at one point, wasn't we? And he really does. He really does put it about and get his foot in. And he's that kind of aggressive type. Almost like if there's one criticism of Ryan Yates, and I'm not criticising, but he could be a little bit nastier.
Yeah.
He's a little bit too nice sometimes. He'll go
and that's why I think Jack Colback's there.
Yeah,
because Jack Colback does that what he can't do.
He does, but I think that what Ben Whiteman had, he had like sort of that like I say, he annoyed the life out of me. So he'd have been annoying the life out of them.
I like him. What was I like Ben? I think he was at Doncaster. And Forrest was linked with him.
Yeah, he was their best player as well.
Yeah, he was the best player. Forrest wanted him, and he went to bloody Preston instead. Bitch.
What I will say, don't get me wrong about Yates. I like the way he nails somebody and then he picks them up off the floor. I like that as a person, but as a ratty footballer in there, and if he's going to develop and ultimately play in a team, maybe on his own in that role. You've mentioned there Colback and the fact we play two defensive midfielders. If he ever plays for a bigger club or Forest become a bigger club and we play a slightly different style, I'd want him to be that real aggressor in there, that player. And it felt like Whiteman was that version of what I'd like to see him become.
There's 56 people in. Please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to my channel. And as well, if you want to ask any questions to me, Liam, and Kieran, put in the comments below. I can do. If you want to do a super chat as well to support the channel as well, please do. And as well, if you don't know, I think I keep saying it, but I have to do it. Thursday, the 28th of April, the man himself, Kevin Campbell, is coming to Nottingham to support Des's charity, Lisa Fox's charity as well. And if you do want to go, please message me, message Des, and it's going to be a fantastic event in it, Des. It's going to be a great event in it, Des. Come on, talk to people, Des, man.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant, isn't it? As old as you keep alluding to. Remember the last time we got promoted, and even if you don't remember that, Kevin Campbell's got such a personality, and we've been lucky enough to speak to him a couple of times, and he's such an infectious guy, and it's just a Forest night, isn't it? I've been to these nights when there've been players from the European Cup and even the 60s, and they're always brilliant. So get yourself down, support the night, support the charities, and support DoreOnTour Live.
Exactly. Well, and as well, people, if you can't make it, if you are out of Nottingham or everyone else, it will be live streamed on my channel. So, like I said, it's the first time ever So it's going to be coming night live on DoreOnTour. So please support my channel, and it's going to be a fantastic event as well. Right, let's talk back to the game, and I'll get to you, Liam, and as well. I know it's a point, and we wasn't great yesterday, but that point, I've noticed there's quite a lot of few teams. I know Sheffield. I've just seen the comments. Sheffield United scored a late equaliser as well against Blackburn, but you've got to look at the bigger picture. This point, it could be a good thing for us, Liam. So,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think that's a point good, or do you think we should have got the 3 points at Preston, or what do you think?
Personally, I think we should have gone for it and got the 3 points. We finished the game with 2 subs. I know we went on earlier about the other game where we used too many subs too soon. But why not use 2 subs and then keep one for the 90th minute in case something does happen? To me, yesterday, Johnson was basically not on the pitch. I don't know if you noticed, every time somebody's tried to do a free ball or a 1-2 with him, he was already 10 yards up the pitch, nowhere near the ball. And then their centre-backs just stepped out, cleared it away. So if me, I'm not trying to defend Brennan, but what I think I'm trying to do, both, I mentioned Cork, Yates and Cole back. Brennan was getting angry, every time he said give the ball to the feet, and then he was doing the opposite thing. Yeah,
so he was getting angry because I was watching both Brennan, Davis, and both Garner. We know because what I think they're number 5. I don't know if you noticed it. They're number 5. He got injured.
Yeah,
he got injured quick, and I thought, Brendan was getting angry about it. Come on, the guy's injured. Let's take advantage of this guy. Unfortunately, he's doing that. So I understand with what you're saying. Every time the ball was going over, Brendan was getting a bit.
I've seen a couple of times where Garner was he had the ball and we was in a good position, and you could see Johnson pointing, and he would play the ball the opposite side of Johnson. So Johnson's had to switch his run mid-run in the opposite way, and we're just losing possession every time. But I don't know whether if Johnson needed just to come short a couple of times and basically done the Keenan Davis role where he just ordered the ball up, waited for Spence, because I think Spence had a shocking game yesterday. I know he had that good effort right at the end, but he had lost a lot of one-on-one battles coming down their left-hand side. I think they were strong down their left-hand side. Really strong.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you on that. Kieran, honestly, like I said, I mentioned defense as well, both Worrell, Cook, and McKenna. Again, I think they did support the goalkeeper as well. And again, we kept a clean sheet, people. And yes, we wasn't great, but again, it's a clean sheet, and it helped the goalkeeper as well. So, Kieran, like I said, do you think that's going to help Hove against Bristol City and Sheffield United as well? Because Samba's out for 3 games, but this defense is one of the best defense in the league, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I've been a bit 50-50 with Cook with the mistake that he did against Derby, and I think last night didn't think he was great, but obviously we did keep a clean sheet. I thought his distribution was poor at times, but on our day, you look at our defence, I think any championship side will take it. McKenna and Worrell 100%, and Cook absolute bargain on a free transfer, but yeah, it's good.
People in the comments, okay, you can ask a question to Des, Liam, and Kieran. They've got another 5 minutes. Next game, we've got Bristol City, and as everyone knows, should I talk about the Bristol City game? Something that Forest fans will remember. I remember it as well. So it was what a day that was. But Des, we got go to Bristol City, and so I personally think we'll win the game. But would you keep that side? Because Garner, we mentioned Garner playing as that number 10, but Ziggy, I think his play is different to Garner. But would you keep that same side against Bristol City, or would you change it up a little bit?
I think I would keep the same side. And again, perhaps in many ways, it does need a little bit of a change. It does need a shaking up. But I've said it all season long, and especially with Graben injured, and especially as some of the subs, I don't feel are genuine match winners on their own. I feel we've got a first 11 again. We're picking from the first 11 that strong first 11, and we seem to have had that all the way through. That Cooper's got his mindset on what it is, and this is not a criticism to Cooper because I'm of exactly the same mindset. Those players are the best 11 players. If Grabban was playing, there'd be a bit more rotation. You know, if someone like Joe Lolly was in form, there might be a bit more rotation. But I don't. When you look at the bench, I don't. It's a term in football, isn't it? Strong bench, and it looks it in many ways because of the names that are on there. But I don't think it is in reality. You know, and like I said, there's good players who sit on the bench. Surridge has done a good job. You know, I like it when we're winning games and Cafu comes on because he.
Yeah, you love Cafu. Daz loves Cafu. Cafu.
But I wouldn't put them on when we weren't winning. Ideally, I understand with Surridge he has to come on when Davis is knackered. But so yeah, I go with the same. I think there's still. I think I still look back and think it's only a week and a half since we played. Well, it's not even that, is it? Really? Yeah, it's a week and a half since we played Blackburn. 2 weeks now, and we look really, really good with that team that put out. The one big question, and you alluded to it, Ben, was Zinkernagel. Where does he kind of fit in? We've seen. I made the point somewhere else, and I'd not realised until I said it. But if you notice, the 4 games before the Stoke game, well, including the Stoke game, he changed the midfield player. So there's like 4 players now for 3 roles almost. And I think he's a little bit undecided on which one. So you might see Zinkernagel come back in, perhaps, because the first one not to play was Colback, which was a bit of a shock. And then Garner missed a game and Yates missed a game. You know, Zinkernagel misses 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure he's too convinced, but he obviously likes that quartet and he's trying to fit 3 players into 4. Anywhere else on the pitch, as bad as it sounds, they've got no competition. There's no competition apart from the goalkeeper, of course, because Sam will walk straight back in the team. But there's no competition all over the pitch, and that's it's an issue because of Grabban's injury, and because some of the better players from the past, Lolly, Mighton looks good in spells, but I don't think he's the complete thing. They're not quite up to the standard that this first 11's at. So I think we'll see the same, if not one change, Zinkernagel for another midfielder.
People comments, what do you think? Do you think with theirs? I personally think there'll be one change because, like, when we're home, like it's okay when we say it's good to get a point away from home and 3 points at home, but I think we're getting to that stage now. I think I'll read Glenn now. Shout out to Glenn, who's a member. If you want to be a member, people, link them below so you can. Shout out to Glenn. There's 14 to go. Clean sheet, a lot of points allowable. There were 2 or 3 times solid chances to score, but didn't. It's not the end of the world. We're a frustrated team, and that did his homework on us. And it's true. It's 14 games to go, and there's going to be ups and downs. And as well, I think there's an announcement today, and I'm frustrated. Bournemouth, we're playing Bournemouth. Is it May the 2nd now? I'm cheesed off. 7 o'clock kickoff. Sky, thanks. Like, I'm not going to sort out my work pattern now. But yeah, these 14 games are tough, and I speak to you, Liam, as well. And it's going to be these 14 games are going to be highs and lows. But I think I spoke to you the other time. Like, are you confident? Like, Forest can get the playoffs as well. Big games as well. Got massive games coming up.
Well, I did want, like, I said, like, top 2 didn't I, last time? I said, yeah,
we'll get top 2.
Second. Yeah. I don't see it now. I think 6th spot is the only place we can aim for at the minute, because I think like the teams are above like 6th spot is just gonna like keep going in between each other because they're that good. But I think we shot it now. To be fair, we needed a creative midfielder in January. Like, going back to the midfielders, I don't think you can play Colback, Yates, and Garner in the same team. It's either, I think Yates gets in every game, and it's either between Garner and Colback. And I don't think Garner can play the number 10 role as good as.
Don't you think?
That we didn't have no creativity yesterday, and Garner was doing good, but he was coming too deep to pick the ball up to run forward. When if he was playing the number 8 role, and we had a good number 10, them two could have created more between them.
100%. What do you think, Karen? Do you think like there's 14 days to go? I think there's going to be some highs and lows, and these, especially I mentioned the City game, but we've got Sheffield United, and plus I keep forgetting we're still in the FA Cup. I keep forgetting about the FA Cup. It's unbelievable we are in the FA Cup. It's mad. I think it's Huddersfield on a Monday. I think it is. But Kevin, like I said, it's 14 games to go, and there is going to be some highs and lows in there.
Yeah, I think we will pick up a loss here and there. I think with the FA Cup, like you said, I think that could be a turning point in our season. If we go and win that, it could actually build some momentum going into the end of the 14 games. Whether we do get in the quarterfinals, I think it will be quite crucial. Even if we, I don't know, get drawn against Man City or something, if we do win on that Monday night.
No, Liverpool. I want Liverpool away. That's
You're Liverpool.
I want Liverpool away. That's what it matters.
Well, any of them, I think it will probably, hopefully, push us on to the playoffs. But we've got to rely on other results and focus on us, really. We need to start picking points as soon as. If we get too many draws, that's more relegation form. So I think with Bristol City, that's going to be a massive game. And then Sheffield United, and then all the rest of the season. But hopefully we get the 3 points on Saturday and see where we go from there.
Like I know I said 14 games to go. I'm going to throw everyone on the bus and ask them where the playoffs. I think I said Des all the time. He might change his opinion. I think he says top 2 last time. I think I asked Liam as well. Liam said top 2 as well. I don't think I've asked you, Kieran, have I? Where we finished in the league. People in the comments. And Bob, shout out to Bob. He knows where Forest finished. I think they'll finish 15th. That's me being sarcastic. So if I finish 15th in the league, shout out to Bob. As everyone's opinion changed, like after the point at Preston, I'm going to shout out and ask you, Liam. You did say we won't finish 15th with the seconds. But do you think playoffs? Because think about it, right? You're going to look at the team like the teams I'm worried about, and people in the comments if you agree. The main 2 teams are Middlesbrough and Sheffield United. I think they're the most 2 teams I'm more worried about than everything else. Like,
what about QPR? They keep making the wins.
I think they won tonight.
Yeah,
they win tonight. I don't know.
The 2 points from second.
I personally think Blackburn QPR. What was QPR score?
You got to think about Blackburn now. Diaz is injured, isn't he, for the rest of the season? So they're not going to have him.
Even Luton, they won as well.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yes, Stoke, blimey.
I think QPR won with 10 men, didn't they?
Yeah, QPR won
10 men.
Yeah, QPR won as well. Sheffield United won, and like I said, this I think from 3rd to even 15th, the league's going to change. I think the game against, I personally think the Sheffield United game is a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
If we win that, I reckon we'll get playoffs because I think that's the hardest game we've got until we've got Bournemouth. We've got Fulham away as well, I think.
Yeah, we're Fulham away.
Bournemouth
they're
away.
the three hardest games we've got. Because I see the poll earlier or something, and apparently we've got the easiest games to the end of the season in like.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
we was top was saying we was like the easiest games to win, till from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we.
Apparently there's only 3 tough games, and that was Sheffield United, Fulham, and Bournemouth.
Bloody hell. No, we have got a tough game. But yeah, people in the comments, what do you think? Do you think we'll make playoffs? I'm saying 15th. Des, change your mind, Des?
No.
Des says, Karen, what do you think, Karen?
what's that?
What do you think? Where do you think we'll finish?
I think we'll just get playoffs. If we beat Sheffield United, like Liam said, I think we'll definitely get playoffs. But yeah, we've got to start winning soon. But yeah, I'm sticking with playoffs, not 15th.
Last not least,
what you have to remember, guys, is these teams are going to win every game. Blackburn have got QPR at the weekend. QPR are notoriously not the greatest travellers. Sheffield United, they're going to win every game. 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 They're going to win ever Middlesbrough got Barnsley. Barnsley are informed, So these teams aren't going to win every game. What we've got to do is just win the game against Bristol. The league table will look a whole lot different. Even if we don't particularly move many places, it will look so much different because teams will take points off each other, and what will come into it is who's fighting for relegation, who's on the beach too soon, So I think we'll still get to the playoffs. I think we'll get it comfortably. I really do. I think there's so much ability in that team. And yes, we're going through a tricky patch where, in some ways, teams are probably figuring this out a little bit. We've been on the television a lot. We've been
too many times
talking about us. But that's the price you have to pay sometimes for a little bit of success. Every other club is talking about Forest in the way we look at Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. But is it too soon? Luton are the ones at the moment. I saw a stat yesterday. Luton have scored more points than anybody in all 4 leagues in 2022.
Bloody hell. And we've got Luton away as well. And I said,
and that's going to be tough.
And if anyone says what easy games is just made, we've got 14 games to go, but there's no easy games at all.
I think if we win 7 out of the 14, I think we'll get playoffs.
Bloody hell. Do you think that? No, I personally think we need more than that.
We'll need 75 points or more.
I always go for 74 points. I've said it, I read it out a couple of weeks ago, and that means 8 wins and 2 draws out of 14. And I can see a Cooper team doing that because once you get 1 win, 2 or 3 tend to come up together. I mentioned earlier about after the Fulham game when we had those 5 in 6 frustrating draws, games we were better in. And then all of a sudden we won 4 on the spin or 6 on the spin. And that's the sort of thing that happens with Steve Cooper. I always remember back to the Swansea time when he just seemed to win 1-0 every week. It was so frustrating because it was always 1-0 last minute. And this team resembles that quite a lot. We don't always score last minute at the minute. Like right now, we did earlier in his tenure, but it's nicking those results out of nowhere, and that Stoke game when Ryan Yates scored, just to keep an unbeaten record, and then Preston where we don't do so well, a win, and in 3 games time, someone else has had 2 draws and a defeat, or 2 draws and a win, because that's what we've had. We're 4 points and we're right back in there.
So people, like I said, before we go, are you confident for the playoffs? I'm sticking my guns. I'll say we'll finish 15, but I'm not going to push it as that. Right, Des, Liam, and Karen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on my channel as well. All the people that has come to watch and support this channel, thank you very much for the channel. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and as well, Mr. Duke Daily as well. Please go and subscribe to him. He's free away from the 250 mark. So please go and subscribe. His link is below in the description. Go on to follow Mr. Do.
Come on, all of you. You can almost double my numbers tonight.
Go on, people. The 61 people here. Please go and support. I always support any YouTuber that comes on the channel, on this platform, and you can go and support. Can please. Right, people. Like I said, I want 170 likes. If I leave before I leave, please hit the like button so I get 50 before I go. Liam, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Liam.
Thank you.
Karen again as well. Karen, he's a member as well. Thank you very much, Karen.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
I'm not going to say bye-bye today. I keep saying bye. He's always here. So
he's feeling the pressure these days.
I am feeling the pressure, people, because I'm sick and tired of him. I keep trying to do it every single time. And
Positivity.
It is what it is. But yeah, people, thank you very much as well. Like I said, my next one will be Friday night. We're a Preston City fan. And that's the one I'm not excited because I cannot wait to see this fan. The way they talk about that game, because it was such an amazing game. So people, 9 o'clock, it's going to be fun. And yeah, tune in. Peace and love, everyone, and all the Reds.
Oh.
Come on.